Today, we are going to discuss the second component of fitness, which is the skill-related fitness components, and the different dimensions that it covers when it comes to motor skills and sport performance. At the end of this lesson, you are supposed to determine the different skill-related fitness components of physical fitness. Second is to understand the importance of developing each specific components. Third is to discover and relate different activities and sports that develop the different skill-related fitness components. And lastly, perform simple skill-related fitness component activities to grasp knowledge obtained from the discussion. Today, we are going to cover the different skill-related fitness components, and these are agility, balance, coordination, power, reaction time, and speed. Along the lesson, you will find that there are activities that you can try to perform enable for you to better understand each skill-related fitness component. What you can do is to go through the lesson first and perform the activities afterwards. At the end of the lesson, there will also be comprehension questions and a 10-item quiz to check and see if you understood the concepts discussed. The questions will be in the form of a multiple choice and matching type quiz, all used to gauge your understanding of the discussion. You will also be required to submit photos and videos of yourself performing the different skill-related fitness component drills and tests. The instructions will be given as you go through the lesson. Throughout the discussion, you will notice that unlike the health-related fitness components that focus on specific organ systems, the skill-related fitness components are more associated with performance and skills. It tends to be sport-specific and is best improved through practice, a lot of practice. You will find throughout this lesson that each component is somewhat linked to the other. Oftentimes, they are so related that you need one component to make the other component work. Their relationships result in overall good performance in sports or recreational activities that you might want to get yourself into someday. During the performance of different activities, you may also discover that you are excellent in one skill-related fitness component, but you lack the other components and need to improve on them. You might also notice that when you are good in a skill-related component, you tend to lack a specific health-related fitness component. Don't worry, this is all too normal for everybody. Even professional athletes still have areas for improvement in their craft. Hopefully, at the end of this lesson, I would have at least inspired you to get in touch with your sporty self and you'd be more knowledgeable about the skills involved in sports. Let's start with agility. Agility refers to your ability to change the position of your body quickly and accurately. Almost all sports involve this skill-related component. This is because sports tend to make dynamic or active movements that require the body to transfer from one place to the other. Agility is a component which focuses on rapid and sudden changes in the body's velocity when you are responding to a particular stimulus or to multiple stimuli. This component is probably one of the reasons why watching sporting events seem thrilling. Without agility, sports might occur at a snail-like pace. Think of a game that you've recently watched. Do players seem to move at a fast rate? If you are seeing it as that, then agility is that skill-related fitness component at work. Stand from your chair and try performing this very simple agility task called planting rice or suicide drills. This is a very basic agility exercise that is used in many sports, particularly in soccer and basketball. This drill helps develop both your agility and cardiovascular endurance because of the high-intensity demand it needs from your body. Suicide drills require you to run at a very fast pace, performing explosive movements during its entire duration. You can check this website, before performing the drill so you can be aware about how the execution will go about. Here are some guidelines for the planting rice or suicide drills. Prior to the drill, you need to find an open space where you can run and perform the task. It could be a basketball court, a park, or an empty parking space, so long as the area can allow you to run and no obstructions would inhibit you to do the drill. Next is that you need to divide that open space into 4 equal parts, with approximately 4.5 meters in distance. Divide it using markers like rocks, or if you have exercise cones, you can use that for the drill. After dividing your area, you need to mark your starting line. This is the place where you will return during the execution of the test. Upon securing your exercise area, prepare your body for this task by doing a quick warm-up exercise. Simply jog continuously for 10 minutes in order for your body to be prepared for the drill that you are about to perform. Before the start of the test, you need to set your stopwatch to 5 minutes. This is the only duration of the agility drill that you will perform today. This is an ideal duration usually for beginners like you who are new in physical activity. If you are currently active, you can increase the time between 10 to 15 minutes to increase the challenge of the drill. As soon as you start the timer, from point 0, run towards point 1 as fast as you can, and upon approaching it, touch the ground or the marker. Then you are going to run back to point 0. Upon returning to point 0, you are now going to run towards point 2 and touch the ground or the marker. Then you will run back again towards point 0. Upon returning to point 0, you will now head towards point 3 and run as fast as you can back to point 0 until you finally reach point 4 and you run back as fast as you can back to point 0. Remember to keep track of your time and continue doing this sequence for 5 full minutes. Here are some reminders for your agility exercise to be more successful. The activity is an agility drill, which means it requires you to shift your body from one place to the other. That is why you need to run as fast as you can towards each marker and return to the starting line at a very fast pace as well. Remember to always touch the ground or the markers you've assigned. This is an added challenge to your body in performing this agility drill. Lastly, do not stop during the 5-minute interval of the execution of this agility drill. Remember that the challenge is to improve your skill of agility as well as to contribute to the development of your cardiovascular and muscular endurance. After the exercise, do not forget to perform a cool down and stretch the muscles that you've used during the activity. This way, you won't feel sore the following day or the next days ahead. Try doing these exercises for your stretch. Remember to breathe properly as you perform each. First is the torso stretch. This stretch is for the muscles at the sides of your torso. Another one is the quad stretch. This stretch is for the muscles at the front of your thighs. Next are the hamstring stretch, like the ones that was discussed during the previous lesson. And lastly is the ankle stretch. This is where you plant one foot to the floor and you bring the other in front of you. Place your hands on the wall and keep your foot flat and feel the stretch at the back of your legs. Hold each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds and perform each on the right and left sides of the body. Do this sequence for at least 3 consecutive sets. Did you finish the 5-minute agility drill? How did you feel performing the activity? Were you successful in finishing strong? Or were you running out of breath after the time? Where do you think can you possibly use this skill? Do you play basketball? How about soccer or football? Have you ever tried playing racket sports like tennis, badminton, or ping pong? These are some sports that really need agility. Without this skill, you won't be able to make quick decisions during gameplay. In life, if you are agile enough, you may also be able to protect yourself from danger by moving more quickly. Your stealth would help you make quick judgments that would help you evade the dangers of your environment and possibly save you from life-threatening situations like a robbery or attack. Think about it. Developing this component not only improves your fitness skill, but it also helps you overcome events in your immediate environment. Agility is an important component in sport and life in general. Be sure to also include this in your training drills if you are involved in a particular sporting event. Just the same with endurance trainings, agility drills can be incorporated to your trainings. But we will dwell on this later in the course when we discuss the different exercise principles. Let's now proceed to the second skill-related fitness component, which is called balance. Balance refers to your ability to maintain equilibrium while moving or stationary. In this lesson, you will learn that balance actually has two types, and these are static and dynamic balance. We begin with the first type of balance, which is static balance. This type of balance refers to your ability to retain your center of mass above your base of support in a stationary position. Do you still remember where your center of gravity is in your body? Recall that during the previous lesson, your center of mass or center of gravity is located within your abdominal area. Think about standing upright or sitting comfortably in a chair. Static balance is at work because you are maintaining your center of gravity to keep your body in a proper alignment while you are not moving or you are stationary. Try this one on your seat. Take your back off of the chair's rest. Try to sit up straight and plant your feet flat to the floor. Place your hands on your lap. Keep your back straight and hold this position for 30 seconds. Did you feel the muscles of your back working? Was it hard for you to sit upright because you are used to slouching? Static balance is clearly at work in this simple activity. Your center of mass is evenly distributed when you try to keep your body in the right posture at all times. Without it, you will keep on falling over and fail to keep yourself upright even while in a seated position. The second type of balance is dynamic balance. Dynamic balance refers to your ability to maintain your balance while performing different bodily movements. Unlike in static balance where you are stationary, this type of balance occurs when you are in motion. When you are shifting your body from one place to the other, dynamic balance is at work. Dynamic balance works hand in hand with agility, as well as other skill-related fitness components that we will discuss in a while. Our bodies are meant to move in different directions all the time. Without dynamic balance, movements will be impossible to make. You would not be able to run, let alone walk, because your body is not in sync with your center of mass. Try this activity with me. This is a simple task that you can do to check and see if your body can maintain balance while shifting your position. This activity is called the stork stand test. It is a basic test that evaluates your body's center of mass because of the challenge of a limited base of support. For this test, you would need a timer or a stopwatch and a partner to help you in determining your balance. Follow these instructions. Stand up from your chair and plant your feet flat to the floor. Place both your hands on your waist. As you do this, take in a deep breath and bring one heel off of the floor towards your knee. Upon doing this, Ask your partner to start the time once your heel lifts off of the floor. You must perform the test for 3 consecutive times, noting how long you perform the execution. You will only record the longest time that you've performed the test among the 3 trials. Other guidelines for the test include stopping the time as soon as your form breaks. This will be very observable when your arms move. Your bent heel goes down, you start hopping around with the planted foot, or the foot of the bent leg moves away from the straight leg. You have to also remember that as you perform the test, you must not push your bent leg towards the knee of your straight leg. This is because this applied pressure may bring discomfort or worse, injury to your knee joint, and we do not want that to happen. You can check how well you did by looking at the Stork Balance Test Standard. The standard indicates how long or how many seconds were you able to perform the trials. Remember that you need to record only the highest score amongst the 3 attempts. Your partner will be of great help to take your photo while you are performing the Stork test. You will then upload this photo on our website after the lesson, and you need to indicate how long you did the test. This will also be a form of evaluation whether you did the test accurately. Here is an example of a snapshot and a test result for you to see. Copy the same angle and do not forget to indicate how well you did in the test. Notice that in the example, the subject performed the test for 55 seconds. Looking at the standard for the Stork Stand Balance Test, where does his result fall into? If you answered that currently he is in the excellent zone of fitness, then you are correct. What this means is that currently this person displays an excellent skill of balance. How about you? How well did you do in the test? Did you have trouble in even starting the execution? Or was it very easy for you and you performed beyond the standard? Remember to follow the guidelines and do not forget to upload your results. How can you develop both your static and dynamic balance? Do you still remember the activities you can perform to improve in this avenue of fitness? Recall that in the previous lesson, balance has something to do with your center of mass, which is directly located within the area of your abdominals. Therefore, you can develop this skill-related fitness component by performing abdominal workouts that strengthen your core muscles. With strong core or abdominal muscles, you would be able to perform balanced movements, whether in sports or in recreational activities. This is the reason why some athletes you see training are performing abdominal routines to help strengthen their core and balance. Everyday activities like simply reaching out for something, walking on uneven surfaces, and even striding with your heels on are all examples of balance. Standing on one foot and even changing where your weight goes is still balance at work. Think about activities that you do regularly. Are you unstable? Do you easily fall off or trip? Maybe it's about time that you get those abdominal muscles working and develop this skill, eventually decreasing those instances. All forms of sport require you to have some form of balance. This is to keep your body erect and stable when performing different movements of a particular activity. Some obvious sports that highly require your balancing skills are gymnastics, dancing, wrestling, and skating. These activities tend to shift the body in awkward positions, which require a lot of balance. Without good balance and posture, engaging in this type of sports might be very dangerous and can cause serious injuries. We will now go to the third area of the skill-related fitness component, which is coordination. Coordination refers to your ability to perform motor tasks accurately and smoothly, using body movements and the senses. It is a component of fitness that integrates your senses and your bodily movements, helping you to perform tasks more accurately. Now, I want you to remember that all moving activities involve the body's effective coordination. I repeat, all moving activities involve the body's effective coordination, whether it be in sport, leisure, or daily tasks. You need your senses like seeing, hearing, or feeling to perform any activities. This is because they are responsible for gathering all the information from your external environment as to what you need to do in a particular situation. Now, I want you to try walking. Get off of your chair and try to make at least 10 steps. Walk as you would naturally do. Notice how your right arm swings while your left leg is moving forward, followed by your left arm swing. Walking is the simplest movement that involves coordination. If your arms don't sway while you're walking, it would seem like you're a robot walking on the street. Every day, coordination is a skill that is at work even if you are not performing sporting activities. This component of fitness is what enables you to successfully get through your day with ease. Try this simple test to check and see if your hand-eye coordination is at its best. This simple task is called the wall toss test. Check and see the video from this link for you to have a better idea on how to accurately perform the test. Prior to the test, prepare the following materials. You would need a tennis ball that would bounce successfully when thrown towards the wall. You also need a flat wall with enough space where you will be tossing the ball during the execution. Next is a measuring tape for measuring your distance from the wall during the test. Fourth material is a marker. That could be a tape stuck to the floor or a cone that will ensure your distance away from the wall. You also need a stopwatch or a timer that you would need to use to set the time of your test. And lastly, you would need the help of a partner who will help watch over the time of your test and double count your score during the execution. At the start of the test, you need to measure a distance of 2 meters or 3 feet between your marker and the wall. This is where you are going to stand during the execution of the test. Once this is ready and you are in place, ask your partner to set the time to 30 seconds. When he or she is ready, you start to throw the ball using the underhand toss with one hand and the timer starts. Let the ball bounce to the wall and back towards you. As soon as the ball returns to you, you need to catch it with the opposite hand. You will keep on counting the number of successful catches you make within the 30-second time, and as soon as the time is finished, the test is over and you can record the number of catches you've performed as your result. Here are some guidelines for your test to be more accurate. First is that you should not be moving from your original position, nor should you go beyond the marker. Your distance from the wall must remain constant throughout the test. Second is that when you did not successfully catch the ball, it's okay. Just get it back in your hands and continue doing the test. Keep continuing your count until the 30-second time is up. And lastly, your partner should signal the start of the time as well as the end of the duration of the test. He or she can also assist you in counting the number of successful catches you made during the execution. You can check the results of your test by looking at this standard. The numbers that you are seeing are the total number of successful catches made during the test. If you were able to make 32 catches within the 30-second duration, which zone in the standard does your skill fall into? Looking at the table closely, your 32 catches fall between the ranges of 30 to 35 catches. This means that at present, your coordination is within the good fitness zone. Just like what you did in the health-related fitness tests, you are required to take a video of yourself performing the wall toss test. Use the same angle that is used here in the example. Below the video, indicate your score and your rating based from the standard. After doing so, upload the video on our website. Aside from the quiz at the end of this lesson, the videos that you will upload will also be used as an evaluation for today's lesson. As I've mentioned earlier, all movements that you do require your coordination, be it the simplest or the most complex task. It will be impossible for you to perform movements without the coordination of your senses and your body. Just like your everyday walking activities, all sports need the skill-related fitness component of coordination. Dribbling a ball while moving, dancing, and swimming are some of the common sports that really do need your body's coordination. What other activities can you think of that need coordination? Constant movement is the only key to developing the skill-related fitness component. Through practice, movements you do would eventually seem automatic. Meaning, if you continuously do these activities for a prolonged period, you would no longer think about it as much as you did during the first time that you tried the activity. As mentioned in the earlier parts of the lesson, movement not only stimulates your muscle actions, but it also directly affects your brain and how it makes several thought processes. Now we go to the fourth skill-related fitness component, which is power. Power refers to your ability to exert force rapidly. This component of fitness usually involves movements that are explosive in nature. When you perform bursts of actions and you exert maximum effort, this component of fitness is at work, just like in this example, which is a clean and jerk. This component of fitness is a result of both strength and speed. Without strength, you cannot have power, and at the same time, without speed, you cannot have power. Both elements must always exist for you to be able to perform tasks that are very explosive in nature. During this part of the lesson, I want you to remember that power is a skill-related fitness component that is highly associated with the health-related fitness components of muscular endurance and muscular strength. In order to develop your power, you must first develop your muscles' overall endurance and strength for you to be able to perform explosive or sudden activities without exerting too much effort. A weakness in any of the health-related fitness component would also result to a low success rate in obtaining power. Be sure to develop these components first before you go on doing activities that involve power. Because if you do not, you might end up hurting yourself or getting injured badly, and we do not want that to happen. Try this activity to test your body's power. This simple task is called the vertical jump test. What it does is it measures your current leg muscle power. This test is very simple to perform, and here are the only materials you need for it. A tape measure for measuring your standing reach height and jump height, a chalk used for marking the jump height, a wall that will make the chalk mark visible and easy to read, and a partner who would help you in double-checking your scores. Here are the guidelines you need to follow in executing the vertical jump. First is that you need to measure your standing reach height. This is where you will stand beside the wall and extend the arm close to it upwards. You will then ask your partner to mark the area where your middle finger touches the wall. Ask her to mark it as point 0. Your standing reach height will be used later for the computation of your vertical jump test. Next is that you need to place a chalk mark on your middle finger before the jump. Then, you need to secure an elbow distance from the wall. You do this by standing beside the wall sideways and place your hand on your waist. This way, you would have enough distance to accommodate your jump. Prepare to jump by doing the sit and swing action. Keep your feet flat on the floor and lower your body in a seated motion, then swing your arms backwards and jump as high as you can. As you attempt to reach upward, mark the wall with the chalk on your middle finger. You need to execute the jump 3 consecutive times. The highest mark that your finger touches will be the one used for your vertical jump test standard. Ask the help of your partner to double-check if the markers you placed are visible. Let him or her mark that jump height as point A, B, and C. After the test, you can again ask the help of your partner to measure the distance of your vertical jump test. And here's how to do it. Remember your standing reach height? This is your point 0, where the tape measure will start at 0 centimeter. Get the tape measure and get the distance between point 0 and the farthest jump height you've reached. Say for example, point A is the highest attempt you did. Get the tape measure and get the distance of point 0 to point A. Example is 32 centimeters. You can check how well you did through the vertical jump test standard. Be very careful in reviewing the result of your test because the standards for males and females vary. Let's check the example a while back. The subject was able to perform a 32 centimeter distance between point 0 to point A. Looking at the table, under which rating does her result fall into? The answer is that the 32 centimeter mark falls between the 31 to 40 centimeters range. This simply means that currently this person's leg power is in the average zone of fitness. There are still rooms for improvement in this particular skill-related fitness component. How do you develop power? The same way that you develop your muscular strength and endurance, by performing resistance or weight training activities. Here are some example exercises that you can do to increase the muscular endurance and strength of your lower leg muscles. Try performing a squat, the most basic lower body exercise which involves a lot of large muscle groups. The muscles that are worked in this exercise are the muscles of your thighs, legs, and buttocks. It also involves work from your abdominal muscles to help you keep balance during the execution of the activity. Try this one. Do you still recall the assisted squat we did in Lesson 1? This time, we will perform the squat exercise without the aid of the chair. Stand on your chair and perform squat exercises for 3 sets of 15 repetitions. Place both your hands at the back of your neck. When you are performing this exercise, make sure that you are sending your buttocks towards the back of your body, the same way that you are sitting in a chair. Another thing you need to remember is that your knees must not go beyond your toes, and they should be right above your ankles. Do not bend your torso forward. Instead, maintain a straight back as you proceed to a seated position. Inhale as you bring your body down and exhale as you bring your body up. Another exercise for your leg muscles is your alternating lunges. The focus of this exercise is primarily targeted at your hamstring muscles, the muscles behind your thighs. Performing this exercise involves a lot of coordination and balance. Be sure to suck your stomach in as you execute the alternating lunges. Just like the squat, you need to do 3 sets of 15 repetitions. This time, the count begins when you have successfully finished extending both legs forward. The same with your squats, you also have to watch where your knees are going. They must not go beyond your toes when you execute a lunge. Your torso must also remain straight throughout the exercise and make sure that it is not bending forward. Inhale as you move your leg forward and exhale as you try to bring it back to its original position. For an added resistance to the exercises, you can either increase the repetitions or sets that you will do for each exercise. Say for example, instead of doing 3 sets of 15 repetitions, you can do 4 sets of 20 repetitions. Another thing that you can do to increase the resistance of the exercise is to add weights in the form of dumbbells or barbells, if you have some available with you. Just copy the same movements that you did during the body weight exercises and increase your load while using the same number of repetitions and sets. Again, what are the 2 health-related fitness components related to power? Can you still remember them? Power involves your muscular endurance and strength, how they are able to work together to exert the much-needed force you need in an activity. Without these 2 health-related fitness components, you won't be able to perform explosive movements in your everyday tasks and in your sport performance. Lifting, pushing, or pulling very heavy objects, usually at one given blow, is power at work. Without power, you won't be able to perform tasking or tiring activities that require much effort. Can you think of other activities you perform daily that involve power? In exercise, explosive and quick movements like jumping, spiking a ball, throwing an object like a shot put or a javelin, sprinting, lifting a weight at its heaviest, or involving yourself in combat sports like judo and wrestling are examples of activities that highly need power. Are you familiar with CrossFit Games? This is the most famous sport in the fitness industry today that involves the skill of power. The game involves both men and women who have trained rigorously and can perform series of exercises that require complex movements and skills that an untrained individual may not be able to do. Follow this link to check and see how some exercises are performed if you are not familiar with them. Without the skill-related fitness component of power, all the sports mentioned earlier and the movements involved in it will not be possible. That is why it is also an important ingredient to a successful training program. Are you a fan of football, basketball, or baseball? Did you notice that athletes have different seasons in their trainings? For athletes who are engaged in regular trainings, their skill developments have seasons that are specifically designed to develop their cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, and power. They usually come in this order, as these health and skill-related fitness components work in response to the other, like the one I mentioned earlier in the discussion. For beginners and athletes alike in exercise, this is the last component of fitness that should be developed, because the type of training that involves power is usually associated with more complex and complicated movements that can be injurious to an untrained individual. Let's now proceed to the 5th area of the skill-related fitness component, which is reaction time. Reaction time refers to your ability to respond and react quickly to a certain stimulus. This skill-related fitness component is very critical in sports. It makes you think and act quickly about a given stimulus at a given period. How quickly you react to external factors in your environment determines your success rate in your performance, especially in sports that involve races. Examples of these are responding to a gun start in a race, horn sounds from a swim race, even catching a volleyball return, and also reactions in self-defense. These are some sporting activities that require your brain and your body to react at a very quick pace. In your daily tasks or everyday activities, reaction time is when you suddenly caught an object that is about to fall off from the table, or how you suddenly move your hands away from hot or sharp objects. It just basically refers to how you react and make quick decisions at given situations in your life. This is called the fight or flight response. Your brain signals a response or several responses to your body to move away from danger or from anything that would cause harm to you. Reaction time is a skill that is built in you, but through exercise and sport performance, this skill can be trained and heightened. Try this reaction time test to determine how well you react to stimulus. This test is called the ruler drop test. The only materials you need for this is a yardstick and a partner. To start the test, you are going to sit near the edge of a table or an armchair. Your initial position is to place your elbow on the table with your wrist extending over to the side. Your partner would then hold the ruler vertically in the air just above your thumb and index finger, with the 0 centimeter mark close to your hand. While in this position, you should be ready to catch the ruler. Tell your partner when you are ready to perform the test. As soon as you are ready, he or she will then release the ruler from his or her hands and let it drop. What you need to do is to catch the yardstick as quickly as possible as soon as you see it falling. Record which part of the yardstick your fingers touches. You should do all these sequence 5 consecutive times. The score that you will record is the lowest measurement from the 5 trials of the test. There are no fixed standards for this test. However, you can compare your results using this table from this website. The table that you will see from the link indicates an estimate time for each yardstick measurement taken from the test. Note how much time was estimated from your lowest measurement. After checking where your results fall into, you can further look at this chart from this website. The ratings recorded here were all based on estimate times. There is still no known specific standard for the ruler drop test. Generally, if you have a higher centimeter mark, that means that you have a slower reaction time. And if you have a lower centimeter mark, that means you have a good reaction time. If you are not satisfied with the results, you can then further check your reaction time and also visit this website. The test in this website uses how quick you are in responding to color changes in the background. You need a stable internet connection for this test to be accurate. Click the reaction test timer link and you will be directed to the test page. After performing the test, do not forget to record your score in the Enter Your Results Here link. This is to contribute to the free use of the website in gathering or collecting data for the reaction time test standard in the future. Studies have shown that this component of fitness is more of an inherited trait, a skill that is innate in you, meaning you acquire this trait because one or both of your parents have a quick reaction time. This is the reason why during races, some people tend to react faster to the stimulus of a gun start more than the others. How was the result of your test? Did you have a good reaction time? Or were you falling short in this component of fitness? Though this skill is inherited, a person can still develop this component of fitness through physical practice and also through visualization techniques or meditation. Visualization technique is where you quietly sit and mentally think about your game. This way, you are sparking emotions or ideas in your mind how the activity will go about. Most coaches in sports nowadays incorporate this type of training to their athletes. This is to condition the brain for the activity that they will be performing. The usual response is that the athlete will bring this visualization technique to his or her game and react to that stimulus quickly. Finally, we are down to the last skill-related fitness component, which is speed. Speed refers to your ability to perform movements in the shortest time possible. This is a skill that was mentioned earlier in the lesson. What is the skill-related fitness component related to speed again? Yes, power is that skill-related fitness component directly related to speed. You also have to know that agility is a skill-related fitness component that works hand in hand with speed. Without being agile, you cannot move in different directions with great speed. Oftentimes, when a person has a very high velocity, he can be able to perform explosive activities that involve power. Enable for you to test your speed, you can try this very simple activity called the 20-meter dash. You need the following materials for the success of your test: a wide open and flat space where you can run. This could be a basketball court or an empty parking lot or a space in the park. A stopwatch to record the time it took for you to finish the test. Next is a tape measure to measure the distance of 20 meters in the area of your choosing before the test proper. Next are your markers that will be used to indicate your starting and finish lines. And lastly, you would need the help of a partner who will record your scores from the executions you have performed. Prior to the test, you need to prepare your body by performing warm-up exercises like jogging for 10 minutes or performing dynamic stretches. You can also check out this website for other forms of warm-up for this test. After performing a warm-up exercise, proceed to the starting line of your 20-meter area and prepare for the 20-meter run. Ask your partner to stay at the end line so that he or she can exactly stop the time when you approach the marker. As soon as you are ready, he or she will give you the go signal and start the timer simultaneously. You need to run as fast as you can towards the end line. Do these trials 3 consecutive times. Stop in between the trials for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Upon finishing all 3 trials, get the lowest time that your partner will record. You can check the results of your score from this website. The standard shown there is based on an Australian team sport players, and it's only for the 35-meter dash. There are still no final standards for speed, as this skill varies for different sports. For now, you can base your results from this data available on the website. Speed, just like reaction time, can also be inherited from your parents. Ever tried running or racing with someone before? Did you notice that even if you try your hardest to beat this person, you still ended up short? And you realize that this person is way too fast to be beaten. That is normal. Some people are naturally born to have efficiency in this component, which makes competition more interesting. Do you currently have activities that execute this skill greatly? Did you have a hard time performing the speed test and your result was way below the standard? Just like what I've mentioned in the previous components, practice makes perfect. Practice can develop speed, and you can achieve this if you are motivated enough or you have a goal for yourself. In everyday activities, simply by getting from one destination to another quickly is speed at work. In sport performance, some activities that involve speed are sprinting, swinging a golf club, performing a layup shot in basketball, football, running a base in baseball or softball, and powerlifting. These are all speed activities that you can consider and think about engaging yourself in someday in the future. Can you think of other sports that involve speed? How about other daily tasks that you do that greatly need speed? Before we end the lesson, here are the requirements that you need to accomplish for today's activities. You need to upload videos for your planting rice drills. You only need to take a 2-minute video of your drill performance for us to evaluate whether you followed instructions in performing the test. Second is a video performance of your wall toss test. Take a video of the same angle shown here in the lesson today. This video will only last for 30 seconds as this is the duration of the test. Another one is a video of your vertical jump test. Take a video of the 3 trials that you have performed. Use a side view angle for this test. Fourth is a video of your 20-meter dash. Ask your partner to take a video of yourself from the end line. And lastly is a video of your ruler drop test with a side view camera angle while you are performing the 5 trials. You also need to upload a photo of your stork balance test. Copying the example from the lesson earlier, use a frontal view. All of these things must be uploaded on the website for your evaluation. This will all be for a total of 15 points if you follow the instructions correctly. Make sure that the videos and photos you will upload are of good quality so that you will be evaluated properly for the test. If you cannot perform the test because of other reasons like you have injuries or disabilities, you can just answer the quizzes that are found at the end of this lesson to gauge your comprehension and knowledge gained from the discussion. Those are the 6 skill-related fitness components. There were a lot of activities mentioned a while ago. Did you find anything of your interest? What activity or activities do you want to pursue? Do you have something in mind already? What component or components do you think are needed when you play basketball? Do you need all 6 or you just need to develop some components? Do you want to go dancing? What component is at work in dancing? I leave you with this phrase. 30 is the magic number. You may be wondering how much time do you usually need to perform any of these activities in a day. The secret is the number 30. At least 30 minutes of continuous exercise a day will bring so many benefits to your body. It would contribute to improving your overall health and wellness while also reducing the risk of you developing chronic diseases. 30 minutes a day done at least 3 times a week or 5 times a week will also help you develop the components mentioned today and the previous lesson we've had about the different health-related fitness components. I want you to get out of your chair, move and be active. Start now. It's never too late to pursue something that you might be very passionate about. Your sedentary couch potato day should be over. It's time to make a better choice for yourself. This would greatly benefit your health and wellness in the long run. As you go, take this very old and famous Greek philosophy with you. Mens sana in corpore sano. In English, this is loosely translated into the phrase, a sound mind to a sound body. Remember that it is better to have little physical activity than to have none at all. For a sound mind functions properly and effectively with a sound body and vice versa. I want you to think about an activity that you have always wanted to engage yourself in. It could be any sport or recreational activity that you've always dreamed of joining. Maybe you want to attend a Zumba class, perform resistance training, or do yoga. Whatever it is that you have in your mind now, I want you to hold on to that. Maybe after this lesson, you can start to do it because you are already equipped with the areas where you can improve yourself in. Try to at least practice one component before the other. This way, you have a baseline activity in preparation for your sport. I kept on repeating throughout this lesson that practice is the only factor that can help improve these components. If you want to be good in basketball, play basketball. If you want to be good in running, run. And if you want to be good in dancing, dance. Practice repeatedly and practice often. You will eventually hit a skill-related fitness component without consciously knowing.